Hello and welcome back to Jesus Life channel. I believe that in today's video, God is going to be changing your life in no small way. So I urge you to stay tuned and be blessed.
Let me tell you something to challenge you. And then it will help you know what is required to commit your all to Jesus. I know you are a deacon. I know you are a prophet. I know you are an evangelist. I know you are an apostle. But this is the question I want to ask you. Moses, at the age of 80, could climb Mount Sinai. Sinai is over 7,000 feet tall. I don't know how many days it took him. But an 80-year-old man will climb Sinai and they will wait in prayer for 6 days, for 8 days, until God will appear. And God will tell him, I will not go with you. And he will tell God, if you don't go with us, we will not live here. So the man challenged God and told God, if it means tarrying here until I die, I will tarry, but you must go with me. And God will have no choice but to go with Moses. Meanwhile, we have the Holy Spirit. We are 30 and 40 years old. Yet, we can't wait until we hear the sound of heaven. We can't wait until we see him that dwells in secret. Moses pursued God until Moses could find God anywhere. If God was in a pillar of fire, Moses knew. If God was in a smoke, Moses knew. Even when God decided to hide himself in the dark, the Bible said Moses stepped into the deep darkness where God was. The guy could search God. He could seek God, search God, and find God. Meanwhile, we are carrying denominationalism on our head, yet we don't look like God. Our goal and our title are in mundane things. When you get to heaven, there is no one denomination there. It is called the Church of the Firstborn. And the Church of the Firstborn has the image of God. How come every Christian in the East look like an Easterner? How come the Christians in the West looks like the Westerners? How come the Christians in the Middle Belt look like Middle Belters? How come we have not ascended to heaven, where the spirit of just men is made perfect? We know so much, yet we can show so little. In the days of Enoch, when the story of Enoch was told, they could not even as much as write up to 4 verses, because there was no knowledge to write about. The only thing was that Enoch walked with God and was not. It didn't just mean Enoch disappeared. What it meant was that Enoch walked with God until when you see Enoch, is God you see, not Enoch. God fleshed himself upon Enoch. Enoch became a manifestation of God to his generation. Enoch, they didn't write 1 chapter because it was not about mental knowledge. The man just walked with God. He said, Noah, being warned of God, he moved with fear. Fear. The man knew God until he dreaded the presence of God. When God said, Noah could abandon his life, and Noah was building an ark for 100 years. Here we are in church, they are talking, we cross our leg. We know all the doctrine, but we don't know God enough to fear him. God said, don't go there. The guy goes and come back and say, I'm sorry. You don't know that God. When you know him, you will tremble. The Bible said the voice of God is upon many waters. The voice of God is divided the cedars of Lebanon. He discovered the forest. We have all the titles. This man didn't have titles. He just called him Noah. But Noah knew God to a degree that the Bible said because of Noah, his generation was judged. Without title, but Noah had the fear of the Lord. And the Bible said God accounted it to him for righteousness. There was no doctrine of righteousness taught, but by fear he stepped into the economy of righteousness. Today, to introduce a man only, we will read 5 chapters to introduce a man, yet there is no territory that trembles because the presence of God is there. But in the days of old, they just called them Allen. But wait for Allen to enter your city. If Allen visit your city for 6 months, men will stop alcoholism. He won't talk to them, but he just entered your city. You don't need to read a citation about Allen, but wait until Allen passes through your city. Wait until Catherine Kuhlman visits Onisha, and then even the crippled guy that you knew for 30 years crippled will start walking before your eyes. There is no rema, there is no mystery. She had power with God. He said, this be the man. He didn't say this be the apostles. He didn't say this be the prophets. He said this be the man that turned their world upside down. You enter one city, there are 300 denominations, 2,000 churches, yet you can't find God. And then we theologically define ecclesia. We preach, take honorarium, and leave a city. The city is still in darkness. But the Bible said, the land of Zabulon, the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, the people that sat in darkness have seen a great light. Why are we not ashamed that we enter as small as a campus is? As small as a campus is. We visit campuses from January to December, yet the campus is in darkness. Because the church is yet to manifest in the brightness of our regalia.